back to the Dance Golf World Show. We got an action-packed week for you this week. We're taking a look. The Ryder Cup just announced. It is official. The pros are getting money for playing. They got to work something out. Some of it's going to charity. We'll dive into that. Also, Jay Monahan, out of nowhere, throws a video out and says that the PGA Tour is looking for a new CEO. Is he out? Does this change his role? I don't know. We'll take another look at that as well. Also this week, we got the PNC Championship coming up. I'm heading down there. Can't wait to see Tiger and Charlie back on the course. Also TGL, the PGA Tour's Indoor Golf League. I feel like it's getting some momentum. I'm also going to be taking a peek at the inside of the new SoFi Center this week. Tons of content coming out from that. Super exciting. But most importantly, we are doing a review of the generational run that Bryson DeChambeau is on. He has had one hell of a year, and we're going to break that down. But not to be left alone on YouTube. Also, Phil Mickelson, he's making his way to YouTube as well. Right here on the Dance Golf World Show. Gentlemen, welcome back.
What's up, Daniel?
Good to see you guys again.
What's up?
Richard.
Heidi how?
What's up, Rich?
He's in. He's coming in hot. Guys, I feel like I can't even wait a minute. News finally broke. It has been resolved. This talk about the Ryder Cup, should these guys be paid? Should they not be paid? Where's money going? Who's getting it? And it looks like news has hit that the players are all each getting $500,000, which I get it. In professional golf, Scotty Scheffler earning, $63 million this year on course. Okay, it's not that big of a, payday. But there is now officially money in the Ryder Cup, with the caveat of that $300,000 of it is going to charity and $200,000 will be treated as a stipend to cover some of their expenses to get to and from there. Josh, do you feel like this is cheapening the event by them throwing money into the game, or do you think they need to? There's a lot of money going around.
I feel like it belittles the Ryder Cup a little bit. It doesn't feel as prestigious anymore now that people are making money off of it. You know what I mean? Like to me, this is like the all-star game of golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I feel like they shouldn't be paid at all, but I understand why they want to be paid.
He's like, forget all those kids and charities.
No, it's not even that. No, I'd rather them have $500,000 all to charity.
Gary, I feel like you got something to weigh in here. Just go ahead.
It definitely like they should get paid, and the kids with cancer shouldn't get their cures. But no, it doesn't
the Ryder Cup is curing cancer now.
Yeah, 100%.
Beautiful.
But no, like the Ryder Cup, to have them get paid, that's fine. It adds a little extra, like I'm gonna play better, but I don't think these guys need any motivation when it comes to the Ryder Cup.
I think the big sticking point for me has been that this event is so big. It is generating so much money. And I get it. Rory McIlroy talks about we get to have these few times in our sport where it's just the purity of the game. He referred to the Olympics, which is a whole separate topic because there are so many broke Olympians who would love to get some money, and these guys earn so much money. They're like, no, we love playing for free.
They really don't like.
That's got to be so annoying to a pole vaulter who's like, dude, it would be nice if we could get paid. Could you have a PGA guy shut up?
They can stipend D's nuts. That's like me asking Dan for $20 to go get some booze.
No.
Does he give me the money? Yes. But do I have any sort of way to get to the liquor store? No. I feel like the Ryder Cup is now tainted. Just like that monster Dan's got by him. I took a whiz in there after you opened it. Sorry, not sorry.
Wow.
Glad you threw that out.
So evil.
Thank you, Gizmo. Yeah, I did. I replaced the energy drink for a water today. I'm trying to rehydrate. So you missed me on this one, buddy. Gizmo, urine free.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing.
Rich.
So if you look, hey, how's it going? If you look at it like an all-star game or something like that, I mean, the NBA All-Stars get paid. The NFL All-Stars get paid.
Thank you.
And if you look, the Ryder Cup, they've been making $200,000 a year for their charities since 1999. Like So we're 25 years later now. So they're giving, and we know that the amount of money that's in golf and that they're making from the Ryder Cup is astronomically higher.
Yes.
So why don't those guys get money for taking their time out of their day to do all that kind of stuff? I don't understand. I have no problem with it at all. I'm glad they upped another $100,000 to their charities, so it's 300 for their charities. Those guys are getting 200,000. Granted, it's not life-changing money to them. I would love that money, but for them, but it at least gives it's funny because I actually, when I was reading on it, it said it's a $200,000 stipend.
Yeah. like most people get, travel, for work. If you're going to a conference, you get $78 a day to spend at Golden Corral. That's your stipend
per diem.
Yeah. These guys are getting $200,000 just to, cover basic expenses. Listen, almonds are not cheap at the Hudson newsstand at the airport. Okay. I need $200,000 just to get there and get back. It's the least you could do. But that is the part that I completely do agree with you on, Rich, is the fact that there's money being made. It's going somewhere.
But it's not like the Masters where the revenue could be so much more because they don't do the marketing that they could do and they hold back to keep it prestigious, to keep the commercials down. So I understand if they did it to the Masters, now I'm okay, that's putting a little. But with the Ryder Cup, I think, I don't know, like Rich said, it's okay.
I mean, because you look, there's just a bunch of complaints going around because the Ryder Cup tickets have come out for next year, the 2025 Ryder Cup at Bethpage. And, these tickets are going for $700, $800, $1,000 tickets, all this stuff going on. I mean, there is massive amounts of money flowing through the event. Oh, yeah. And even when I was in Rome, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that the merch tent is so big. I mean, to me, it felt like a small Amazon warehouse walking through this. They had 100 lanes of checkout. And I went through that thing maybe 4 or 5 times, and I don't think I spent less than $300 or $400 each time I passed through that place. Money is flowing through the Ryder Cup. So I guess what I want to know is then who gets it all? If it's not in player purses and things there's sponsors everywhere. The thing is televised. Tickets are being sold. Merch is being sold. This is all because the greatest players in the world from these two respective areas are going to come together for this massive showdown. So I respect the idea of the purity of the Ryder Cup, and it's not about prize money. That almost cheapens it because it's oh, great, I won $5 million this weekend. It's no, this isn't about $5 million. It's about the history and the legacy of the Ryder Cup. But at the same time, people love baseball, but they still want to get paid. Ask Shohei Ohtani. You know what I mean? Is it still a great American pastime and we're eating hot dogs? Or is this dude making $700 million? So you've got to draw the line somewhere between, the history of a sport and everything that it means to people and the fact that there are truckloads of money flowing through this event and none of the guys responsible for all that money are getting any of it. And I find that sort of an interesting dichotomy.
Well, how they got to that sum and what was the tipping point that made them do that? You were talking about the PGA, and is there suits working things not for the betterment of the game, but for the betterment of their pockets and stuff? Is there a tax write-off now that they gave them $200,000 and they're actually saving more money? What 200,000 is very specific, and it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that number is determined. I imagine these guys have phenomenal tax guys, and I imagine that they are very good at saving receipts. But to me, I just think that the Ryder Cup is something that is a brand that is hundreds of millions of dollars when you talk about the life cycle of this. And then you're going to take, whatever, $5 million and spread it around like butter on a thin slice of toast. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because, again, like I said, I love the fact that there is this time-honored legacy to the thing, but I also go, okay, well then where's all the money going and who gets it? And like Rich said, $200,000 would change some people's lives. Maybe they could spread some this way. We'll promote the event very well. I don't know. Josh, maybe you could send out some emails for us.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah. Think about your regular friends that spend a year saving.
You make this giant assumption that I have friends, and I feel like that is offensive. But go on.
You got people like say me that would save up for a golf trip. Say it's $3,000 to go to TPC, and then you're food and you're just playing for fun of it,
Yeah.
And like these guys are going halfway across the world. They're playing the best courses. It's like it's okay to play golf for for the fun of it, but $200,000, I'm going to take it every time though. Come on.
I'm not going to pass it up.
No, come on.
Well, you know who might be passing up some money? I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed this morning and getting ready for the show. And I see this video of Jay Monahan talking about what's coming up in to look forward to next year. He said he's really excited about the season lineup and everything that's happening on the PGA Tour. And then he wraps up the conversation, his announcement video that's floating around, and says, and also the PGA Tour is looking for a brand new CEO. It's always, that was weird. The CEO of the company's just like, yeah, oh, and by the way, we're looking for a new CEO. Is he out? Like, what, is he looking for his own replacement? Are we getting closer to this Live Golf PGA Tour deal where his position is going to be moving into something that is more involved on an international level? Is this a sign that we're getting closer to that agreement happening? But for me, man, is that weird that he just comes out of nowhere and throws out that the PGA Tour is looking for a brand new CEO and ultimately, whatever, guys. I've kind of made a big muck of this thing. I didn't take my muddy shoes off before coming into mom's living room, but either way, we're looking for a brand new CEO. Best of luck to him.
There's probably like an arrest video that hasn't been surfaced yet. And he's just quietly backing away, and this is why he's doing it.
Dude, maybe he was behind the Scotty Scheffler arrest. I don't know.
Oh my!
We're getting
God.
tinfoil hat here.
Boy.
This is getting deep.
My favorite is
that.
Tiger's, though, where he's like, okay, I want you to recite the alphabet backwards in a non-rhythmic way. Now, do you understand? What did I ask you to do? And Tiger's like, don't sing the Star Spangled Banner backwards. It's like, good job, Tiger.
Good job, Tiger.
But then they cut to all of his greatest shots ever, and it doesn't matter.
But also, like, stone sober, brightest part of the day. I don't think there's a chance I'm reciting the alphabet backwards in a non-rhythmic way.
Absolutely.
Like that's
What do you
impossible.
mean a non-rhythmic way?
Like, you A, B, C, D, A, B, C,
Impossible.
Oh,
Impossible.
It's impossible for me to say the alphabet without like normal.
Yeah, do you have like a month for me to go Z,
I
Y,
can't do
X?
it when I'm sober.
Dude, I would need pen and paper. It'd be a whole thing. I don't think ChatGPT could bail me out of that one. Well, with Jay Monahan dropping this bomb on us that now the PGA Tour is looking for a new CEO, we've got a pro golfer joining us. And to give us a little bit of insight, weighing in on what he thinks of some of these new PGA Tour rules, how they're going to be shortening the fields. I don't know. There's chaos going on. We've got the one and only Ben Adams, or as he goes by on social media, Ben Utah Golf. I thought your last name was Utah. It's not. That's fine. It's a cool last name anyway. Maybe like a country music singer. Ben, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on. It's going well. It actually is my middle name. So, all is not lost. It is my legal middle name. So Ben Utah is my real name, just not a last name.
Please tell me you watch Point Break then.
You're not the first person to ask that, and I'm going to have to disappoint one more person.
All right, moving right along.
No
I've never
idea.
seen that either, so I don't understand the reference. Ben, so obviously somebody who's pursuing golf at a professional level wants to find their way onto the PGA Tour and play golf at the highest level. You find out that there's this press release that comes out from the PGA Tour coming from Jay Monahan and basically from the top down saying that they're basically shrinking the game. What does this mean to somebody like you when you hear this news? I mean, you jump on your feed, your Instagram, your TikTok, however it is you get your news, and you hear something like that. Kind of take us inside your world and really what this all means to you.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is just super disappointing to hear that from this tour, this thing that I've idealized my whole life, right? Like growing up as a kid in Augusta, I'm dreaming of playing on the PGA Tour, dreaming of winning these tournaments and majors and stuff. And then to start this channel, following my journey from average guy to golfer, professional golfer, and to hear that was really just kind of like slap in the face. I'm like, man, I had this kind of track in my brain where I thought it was going to go. And, PGA Tour is obviously a very high aspiration. Starting last year as like a 6.5 handicap, like to say that I'm going to make the PGA Tour would be aggressive. But it's there as a goal, as a dream. And then when we start cutting fields, especially the Monday qualifiers, I think the Monday qualifier cut was what hurt the most, because a lot of guys that I play with on these mini tours, like that's their life, is trying to Monday qualify. I've caddied for people at Monday qualifiers. I've been in that environment. It's real for a lot of these guys, trying to earn a check, trying to make it to the show just one time. And then to hear that could be going away potentially forever, man, I mean, just totally dashes the dreams, not just myself, but a lot of guys out here on the mini tours.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I think even for me as an outsider, you know, I'm a hack. You know what I mean? One of my best shots in my bag is the old chunk and run. But I love the game. I love participating. I love watching. I love everything about it. And for me, I feel like there's something to this underdog story. Somebody where there's this chance for a player who's been grinding but doesn't have the support, doesn't have the team, doesn't have a physiotherapist flying in on the PJ to come stretch out their inner quads before they, you know, whatever, get into the Thursday round. And it's like, you know, I think that is so incredibly cool that every once in a while we get this opportunity where somebody comes out of nowhere. They show up with their bag. They come in with their caddy, maybe in a rental car or a U-Haul truck or however they got there. And they Monday qualify in, and then they show up and the week comes together and things are happening and the stars are aligning and they really do make an impact in that tournament. And for me to think about that disappearing, I don't understand how that is called growing the game. Am I missing something here?
No, and I don't understand how it achieves their goal anyway. Like their goal, which they stated, was to improve the competitive product, improve pace of play. And we're talking about 4 guys getting into the field every week based on a Monday qualifier. Like eliminating that, is that really going to improve the pace of play or competitive product? I don't think so. I think it hurts it. I mean, we talk about guys like John Daly being the 9th alternate for his PGA Championship win. Talk about a competitive product. That's huge. Like when a guy like that makes such a big run, that's stuff of legend. We still talk about that to this day, right? And so I think eliminating that kills storylines. And when I posted that video on my social media about how I would disagreed with the changes, so many comments were like, we don't watch PGA Tour for the last 100 or the last 75 guys in the field. We watch it for the top 25. And I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but I also don't agree, because I think the better storylines are at the back of the field, like the Wesley Bryants. You know, he's had a really good run this last couple of weeks of the fall season, trying to earn his card back. Like, that's exciting to me. And this may be aggressive. We're going to find out, but think about Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, name any one of those guys you want. If you are a non-golfer, if you're a non-PGA Tour fan, you see them playing on any given Sunday, how different do they look? They're almost the same. Like there's no recognizable difference in their game style. Like back in the day, we had Greg Norman and we had Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, and these guys had different swings, different games. And now we have a bunch of cookie cutters. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to these guys, because they're doing what works, they're doing what succeeds. But is that really why I want to watch the PGA Tour? To watch a bunch of copy and paste players to play the round exactly the same way? I don't know. It's not exciting to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we even look at guys like, I mean, obviously, you know, Jake Knapp wasn't a Monday qualifier kind of guy, but essentially, you know, go back 7, 8, 9 months, we didn't know his name. You know, there wasn't a big line for autographs, I'm sure, over in the kids zone, you know, outside the range on a practice day. But you know what? He has his day. He's out at, I think it was at the Mexico Open, and he just shows up, completely shines, you know, plays his ass off, and now he's a guy we know. And so now, do we put him in that top group and we're like, oh no, protect him, he's in the top, or do we push him out because we're like, well, no, he's actually in the bottom? And he transitioned. And he's now a name that we can talk about. He's a guy who's a lot of fun to watch swing. He's got that gigantic backswing, John Daly looking, but it's smooth and it's buttery and it's different and it's fun. And for me, it's like, so we're going to start eliminating these opportunities for finding these new stars, these new people we can fall in love with and watch their journey and grow with, you know, but I have a question for you. I mean, when you look at something like this, and you may not know either, but I don't understand how these policy boards work. I don't understand really where decision-making is coming from. But in your opinion, do you think this is something that is more pushed from the players' policy board, the players that sit on that PGA Tour board? Or do you think this is something that this is more suit and tie wearing decision makers are concocting what they think is best for the tour?
Oh man, it's tough because I don't know how different those two things are.
Yeah,
I think behind closed doors, that might be the same group of people.
it's interesting.
And like, I think they may just have this plan working towards an end goal that they want, and clearly they believe in, and that's all well and good. But I think if you brought in some of the guys that are around 100 or 125 trying to make that cut, I don't know they come to the same conclusion. In fact, I would probably be certain they don't. And maybe even the guys on the Korn Ferry Tour, what are they thinking about this? Because I think there's 5 less spots from the Korn Ferry now or something like that. I think if you ask those guys in the bubble, you're going to get a very different answer than if you ask the top 20 players in the world who are all sitting in the room with the suits. I think that conversation looks very different.
And look how they like treat the guys like Rory McIlroy that was a leader for the PGA when this whole live thing was going down. And then, they're opportunists, and then the PGA does what's best for them. And then they leave Rory without even really caring. And then Rory's sitting there going, he's losing his fan base because he's trying to, all these guys are trying to be so politically like perfect and like social media, typecast, and like they're so afraid to like be like a Jordan or a Tiger who, like you said, has an oar that like we want to watch. Like everybody is exactly walks the same. They get nervous. I don't want to watch Iron Man be nervous. I want to see him be cocky. Like go out there and be cocky as shit.
All right,
they deserve it.
Ben, question. Patrick Cantlay's on the PGA Tour policy board. Obviously very criticized for slow play. Do you think this is all Patrick Cantlay's fault?
No, I don't. But am I happy to blame him? Yeah, sure. Why not? It's easy to blame Patrick Cantlay, and I'm not trying to make enemies here, but he's an easy guy to hate on. So if he's going down, I'll jump on board.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat. I really do appreciate the PGA Tour. I love Live Golf. I love all of golf, and I love giving these guys a hard time. But at the end of the day, I think Patrick Cantlay re-won my heart during Hatgate back at the Ryder Cup in Rome. So, hard feelings. I've put a lot of that aside. He represented our country well. But before we let you go, give us a rundown. Gary and I, we play a ton of golf together. We're out banging balls. We're morons. We're having a great time. But give me a quick rundown of sort of a day or like what fits into a week of properly practicing and training to play better golf.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing that I've had to learn over the course of this journey, because as much grief as I get for it, and all the average guy stick going to pro, is like I really was kind of just a dude, and still am. So that's been a big learning curve in terms of I had to get a trainer. And so I'm working with like a TPI certified trainer. We do workouts like 3 to 4 times a week, targeted on specific mobility issues, specific strength issues that are like kind of interwoven with my swing and what I'm trying to change. And then I'd say I'm at the golf course 7 days a week, basically 6 or 7, depending on, rain and stuff like that. But I get any given day, I usually start with like an hour and a half of range work, working on the swing. I like to play early in the day. So I'll play 9 holes and then come back in and then hit chipping, putting, probably go back out for another 9. And typical day, probably 6 hours of practice. Again, it's hard to focus that long. And so I think that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I have to break it up. And that's one thing I really like about having the media presence is I'm kind of a creative person in general. So I knew that going out there and having the Tiger mindset of 8 hours a day and run 10 miles after 18 holes, like that's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So having this creative part where I get to come home and edit videos and shoot stuff and interact with people like you guys, like that's been really fun. And I think that's helped kind of take the pressure off of it. Because talking about like the mini tour side of things, it operates very professionally, especially if you go down to like one that's kind of been around a while, like the minor league golf tour in Florida. These guys aren't bad. Like compared to the PGA Tour players, like we're not talking about a whole lot of difference here.
Yeah.
PGA Tour players are just taking advantage of their opportunities a little bit more and more consistent, or just, right place, right time. But I played a tour event, minor league tour event down in Florida recently, and the dude that won shot 60, broke the course record. I mean, these guys are like legitimately very good players. And I think that's one thing from the mini tour side of things that really hurts is the distinction between a PGA Tour player and a mini tour, like a high level mini tour player, is not as far as a lot of people think. And so I think to limit opportunities is what really hurts because it's so close. Like it's not like this big distinction.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, and you talk about, you know, a guy in a mini tour going out and shooting a course record. That could be the weekend where the stars align, where he Monday cues and things happen and stuff starts rolling. And again, now, boom, we have a new name that we get to say, oh no, he's in the top of the stack, protect him. And things happen that quick. Exactly like to your point, the John Daly moment, 9th alternate, driving in his car through the middle of the night and gets a message at his hotel or something, you know, just all these crazy circumstances before cell phones and everything. And it's like, you know, why do we want to put an end to the opportunity of these magical moments? And I couldn't agree more with you how heartbreaking it is to think that that's potentially disappearing. One more question for you. So Ben Utah Golf is your TikTok. You're not in Utah though, are you?
No, I'm in Savannah. I get that question so much. My parents were married in Utah. They eloped to Utah and fell in love with it out there. So that's how I ended up with the name. I've been plenty of times.
Now he's going to watch Point
I'm not
Break.
a complete poser.
I also saw you were wearing a Masters shirt in one of your videos. Have you been?
Oh yeah. I've been to the Masters a few times, you know, growing up in Augusta. Everybody's like, oh, you played, right? I'm like, I don't think you know how this works. But yeah, I've been to every day of the Masters, but a different day. And it was like, we never got tickets. We never won the raffle, but friends of friends would have a ticket. They wouldn't go for the afternoon. So they'd give us the badge, and, you know, they knew I was a golfer as a kid and let me go there and see, you know, Tiger and all these guys. And man, it was so much fun. The place, if you guys haven't been, it is, I mean, there's nothing like it. There's no way I can describe what it's like.
I wonder which aspect of like practice that we do that Ben would find interesting or want to like adapt into his own thing. Cause we have so many different ways to like stay focused and have fun and be competitive and stuff. It'd be fun to have him out on the range with us one day.
It would be a wonderful video where Ben takes us through the process of proper practice, and then we take Ben through Dan and Gary practice, and you let us know if there's even anything remotely helpful going on in what we're doing. But
super helpful.
I need that.
But to answer your previous question, I've been to the Masters. Gary's still on the waiting list. We're still working on getting him out there.
I'd rather go to the PG than what you're doing this week.
Wait. I'm going to the media day at the new TGL SoFi Center to check out the new indoor thing. I'll be there tomorrow morning. I'm flying out tonight, and then I'll be at the PNC the rest of the weekend. Hopefully, trying to ask the John Daly boys some good questions and maybe see if I can get Tiger and Charlie to throw something my way as well.
Tiger.
Awesome. Hey, Ben, dude, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your insight, man. We got to have you back on. If we ever cross paths locally, maybe we can do this not via video conference and we can do some video in person. That'd be awesome, man.
Good luck, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much. I'd love to be out there. Hey, like I said, I need the help on the range. I take this is a game. I take it a little too seriously. I need to lighten up. And I'll be down at TGL in January too, so maybe I'll see you down there.
That'll be awesome, man. All right, guys, give him a follow. I follow him on Ben Utah Golf on TikTok. I know he's on Instagram. He's everywhere. And Rich also just found out he's Googleable. So if you're not finding it, you can Google the guy. You know, that's sort of a point when you've made it. All right, Ben, dude, thank you so much. We'll catch up with you soon, man.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Ben's a cool guy. I kind of like him. New friend of the show.
Yeah.
We got a new friend of the show.
Very cool guy.
You know what? I take back what I said a little bit ago, Gary. Maybe I do have friends. I got one now. I got Ben. Well, speaking of tours and speaking of all this craziness going on, we do have the PNC Championship going on this weekend, which not only am I extremely excited about, but I'm also going to be there, which makes me additionally excited. But I think one of the most interesting parts is this is going to be Tiger Woods' first time competing back in a competitive environment. No, this is not a PGA Tour event. No, this isn't a major. But last time we saw him on the golf course swinging a golf club where it mattered was at the Open, or as Gary calls it, the British Open.
It is the British Open.
It is the Open, and people get really mad when you call it the British. But
he did well at the British.
After a nice long break, here's what's wild. Did you know Tiger had another back surgery
Did he really?
since the Open till now?
He's got to have like 20.
I think on just back surgeries alone, I
like
think that
4
was
or
number
5.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
It might be number 6 or 7.
And they're not little things.
No. He's not getting like little acupuncture down at the
No.
massage shop.
No.
No. They're down there digging around and they're scraping around and scooping.
Well, you might.
But I will say, there's something about an event when Tiger's playing that it becomes more important, more special, more interesting, more viewable. And Gary, you can speak to this because you've seen Tiger Woods play. And what is that like? Tiger Woods is on course. The vibe is different. Just take us into the Gary Vale world of Tiger love.
Well, first off, like whatever day it is, I pick out whatever outfit I think he's going to wear, and I'm pretty close to that always because, we got to dress like Tiger. If it's Saturday, it's yellow
Rich,
shirt.
do you want to chime in on this or do you want to leave this to me?
Sundays, red, You sometimes wear a white pair of shoes. He's only done it twice.
All right.
Moving on, but there's this swarm of just people, and you just see this movement.
But before we get there, I just got to know. Obviously, we know Sunday red.
Yeah.
How do you strategize for like a Friday?
Oh, it depends what he wore on Thursday.
Naturally. Thank you.
There's usually like a black
All
outfit.
right, let's go back to the energy of the crowd because
So-
that totally checks out.
Literally, like he's just this walking ore. There's just this flood of people, and then all of a sudden, holes that were desolate are now just packed, and you can just see him walking, and he's in his own little world, and it's just so fun to watch. And everybody gives him the utmost time and like patience, and it's just something that nobody else gets, I think, in sports.
Update here. Tiger Woods has undergone a total of 6 back surgeries through his career, with the most recent in September of 2024. The last procedure was a micro decompression surgery aimed to alleviate back spasms and pain that had affected his performance during the 2024 season.
Is he just getting surgeries to get surgeries now?
Well, he's probably got like a coupon book. He's got to
you
get his
got a
8th
punch
punch.
card?
Yeah. And then then
When
he
they
can
go
get
in,
that.
like, brrr,
He's
it's
got
like
the Subway
operation.
punch card.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, your next knee scope's free.
The best one was Pizza Hut. When I was a kid, we used to go to Pizza Hut like every Tuesday or
Pizza
every
Hut's
Friday,
fun.
once a week. And we would have the punch cards for like their kids club, whatever. But I knew I was never going to get the big prize because it was like you needed like 8 of them.
Did you have a scam?
Well, no, I mean, we didn't go there more than once a week.
Okay.
So if we went there more than once a week, we would 100% got that punch card. But we only went once a week. And I'm like, well, I can't get my free prize. I wanted my toy when I was younger, man.
And it is insane what a child will do for like a 4-cent piece of plastic because it's called a prize.
Yep.
It's fair. Well,
What would you do, Gary?
Well, I was an only child, so I just asked my mom and dad to buy it, and I didn't have to worry about anything for free. I called myself accountability,
wow.
Spoiled.
A little bit.
Mom, give me pizza.
I don't like this. Could I get mac and cheese?
Do my punch card. I want prizes.
I don't know what she's doing back there.
Jesus. Do you think that's how Charlie talks to Tiger?
I could imagine.
Well, he's
I
not
bet-
an
I
only
bet
child,
they
but
are the sarcasm and the wit between all them. I couldn't imagine how great that would be.
Was it last year or was it 2 years ago where Charlie was just going off?
When he makes that
I feel like
pie-
it's
Yeah.
been
he's doing-
growing every
doing-
year.
Yeah, he's slowly and slowly.
Yeah.
Well, who knows this year though?
Well,
He's had a rough year.
but I feel like, I don't know, and I could be wrong. And again, this could be my first time at the PNC Championship, but I do feel like that he is like in his prime there. He is
that's
like
his favorite place.
Right. It doesn't matter. Like, he's got him and his dad to play together. So if one of them doesn't hit a great shot, you got the other one to bail you out. So all the pressure isn't riding on you. And he's instantly like the second most famous person there at this event.
Well, what's insane is like watching him coin toss to Tiger, like after he makes a putt, and he doesn't give his dad like even a second to register, and he's like fumbling it. Like nobody in the world would do that to Tiger except for Charlie. And
No.
it's
Most people are
huge.
like, here you go, Mr. Woods. I'm handing you something that's
Well, the other
important.
day I was like watching him ask for one ball. He's like, just one ball. Yeah. And then like you could just see him clearly getting upset that this was a process to throw him a ball.
Just give me the ball.
Yeah.
Throw the damn ball.
But I like watching all those other, like Annika Sorenstam and her kid, and like obviously the dailies, and it's just fun to like see them all like just come out, and it's great.
I like seeing the reverse.
And like Thomas, because like Justin Thomas and
Yeah.
Charlie and Tiger are such good friends that like it's
Like the pro golfer's a kid.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I'm
Yeah.
like, the reverse what?
Yeah.
Are the Dailies going to be out there for this event?
Yeah, the John Daly Sr., the John Daly we all know, posted on his Instagram, I believe Monday, confirming that, we're excited to be back out there again for how many ever years in a row. Make sure you tune in, whatever. Yeah. So we are
All right, so
locked.
beyond jealous
So-
of this one.
I've got a couple questions for you. With the whole salty balls and like kind of having your fun questions and stuff like that.
Go on.
All right, so two of them, and I don't know. We can massage the questions. We can see if we can get them a little better here with the group and stuff like that. But one of them asked Little John who eats more hot dogs during a round.
Oh, who's the bigger turn dog eater?
Right? Yeah, something like that. Or something about a mullet competition. Who wears the better mullet? Something like that.
John, hands down.
Do we know how old Little John is yet? Can we get
21, 22.
quick confirmation on that? I know obviously he's a college golfer. He's getting a little older now.
He swings so hard his hat comes off all the time.
Dude, I love that. And his like
It's
hair
like his
just
tradition.
everywhere. He's got a lot of like Joaquin Neiman in his swing, like the way that when he swings, his head like goes really low, tons of side
I'm
bend.
gonna watch this now because we studied Joaquin Neiman for like a good day. I felt.
Oh yeah, and we revisit.
Yeah.
You got an age?
He's 21.
He's 21.
Yeah.
So as of July, yeah, there you go.
So great. We can ask, obviously, because John Daly's well known for his eccentric behavior and consumption of adult beverages. Well, now that his son's 21, I feel like, we could ask him, I don't know, if there's a question out there we need to throw, we got room.
How would you feel if you were 19, 20 years old and be sponsored by Hooters?
I've had that dream before.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I've definitely had that dream before.
It's not a negative if you were thinking that.
No. I'm saying like
It's an honor.
think of
a
it like from a
privilege.
kid from that age.
Oh, well, it's also, you imagine, I don't know when John Daly Sr., it's weird to kind of have to define between the two, but he's been with Hooters forever.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how many birthday parties Little John has had at Hooters. You know what I mean? Like how many important life events all go back to Hooters.
Well, oh yeah, it's just fun. John's just all around fun.
What about questions for Tiger and Charlie, guys? If you got something, load me up. Gary, I'm
questions
concerned.
for Tiger.
Yes.
I would ask Tiger, does Charlie ever work out with you or try to keep up with like a physicalness that you have brought to the table? And you are older now, so your, high octane level is now probably like not even 80% of what you used to do. So he's probably able to keep up. So ask him if he works out with
Okay,
you.
you know what, Gary?
With your
That's a great
16
question.
back surgeries. Ask him with your 16 back surgeries. Does Charlie beat you now?
Like just some absurd number.
I think it's because he had to
Right.
carry that whole family for years.
And if so, what's his favorite physical thing to do? Is it running? Is it what?
Well, maybe I bring those two questions together and it's
Yeah.
like, hey, is there anything Charlie's doing to emulate like your workouts, or does he ever go just get a bunch of surgeries or anything like that he's trying to follow in your footsteps?
Or how often do you, Tiger, have to bite your tongue because he's never experienced primetime healthy Tiger? Because oh my God, he's the Terminator.
I feel like that would be so tough because obviously Charlie, we got to see him run out and hug, Tiger at
that was great.
was it the 2019 Masters win?
Makes you cry every time.
But it's like that was Tiger's like fourth rendition of a comeback story.
Yeah.
That it was so far disconnected from heyday Tiger.
Oh yeah.
That
Because he was doing it every weekend and stuff.
I wonder though, does he, like Charlie? You have to sit down and watch my greatest golf moments. So you understand who your father is.
It's like me showing my Tiger fist pound video to everybody. But no, that's what Tiger said. He goes, to my kids, I am the YouTube golfer. And to the kids, golf is a very negative thing because dad's always hurt. Dad's not able to do this. So now that he's healthy and he's coming back, they get to see it and they're like, oh damn, wow.
All right. I feel like I'm a little loaded up here on questions. What
All
do you got,
right,
Rich?
wait, before you go, I got one more for you.
All right.
And this, I don't know how this would play. This might play pretty well. Ask Charlie if he was a caddy for his dad for a day, what would be the first piece of advice he would ignore?
like that. That would be really interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What piece of advice Tiger would ignore?
Yeah, yeah.
That would be a great question.
Or in both ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, Charlie, what would you ignore that your dad's saying? Dad, what would you ignore that Charlie's saying?
Shut up, Dad.
Or is there like a go-to
Right?
comment statement where like, okay, I got this number locked in. Stop talking to me. I'm ready to go. Because like when you hear those guys talk to their caddies, they're always like, yep, I got it. Okay. And then that's when it's like, okay, everybody shut up.
Well, and you'll hear like these fun, like, on mic recorded caddy player conversations. And there's times where, the caddy just doesn't agree with the shot. And the player's like, listen, it's what I see. It's what I feel. And he's like, okay, do whatever you want. I just don't see that shot. And then the player does what they choose. Do you think, when Charlie's out there playing and his dad, Tiger Woods, is out there, does he have like the authority to be like, Dad, I'm not doing that. I'm hitting 3-wood and that's what's happening. Or is he like, shut up and put that club back in your bag right now, Charlie? He's like, okay, Dad, I'll hit 5-iron or something. I don't know.
I think he just rules, that's Charlie. Like that's his bread and butter kid. Like he loves that kid so much. He does whatever he wants.
Yeah. Well, it does seem like around Charlie that we see that other side of Tiger where a little more
so
like
proud, and he's like, he's just got an ego. And what's funny is because Tiger never reacts to his great things because he's so accustomed to doing it and he expects it. So when Charlie makes his first eagle, he's like excited, but Charlie doesn't care. He's like on the next hole, and it's like funny to see Tiger react to somebody acting like him.
Yeah, well, it's a mirror image of Tiger where the whole crowd was reacting and he fist pumped because this is taking him to the victory, the goal.
Yeah.
He's not fist pumping because, wow, I did a nice shot.
Maybe ask Tiger, is there any mannerism that Charlie does golfing that he does?
Dude, all of them. Have you ever seen
No. Charlie does Tiger's, but does Tiger do any of Charlie's?
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know how you determine that.
No, it's got to be like something super small that nobody knows about. But moving on.
Or something that he stole from him.
Like that Snoopy hat. There's something about that. Like they're all giggling about it, and he had to wear it. And he's like, it's the only hat that fit my head. It's like, no, there was a backstory.
There was a total backstory to the Snoopy hat.
Yeah, with Justin Thomas. And so it's funny.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
They're all hanging out in these houses at night with their chefs. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what kind of joke or inside sort of thing they have going on with that Snoopy hat? We'll never know. Do I bring that up? Do I bring up the Snoopy hat?
Nah.
It's
boring. It's boring. Yeah.
It's done.
I like Rich's question, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe the physical one, too.
TGL. I'm seeing it all over social, Instagram, TikTok,
it looks
all
so
of that.
fun. It looks so cool.
Oh,
I'm so excited. Not watching grown men play simulated pro golf. Yuck. And why is it in Florida? It's indoor golf. Indoor. It would make sense if this was in the Midwest or someplace not 80 degrees all year round. Give the winter boys a chance. That makes me so furious.
Wow.
If I can move my arms that Dan glued to my body, I would so break something right now, Limp Bizkit style.
Wow. Gizmo does bring up a great point. Why is the TGL Indoor Golf League in Florida where the weather's already nice? They could be doing it in Boston or maybe here in Chicago.
Hotter.
Yeah. But the SoFi Center looks pretty cool. I don't know if you guys are seeing that.
It looks sick.
It's so cool.
Dude, it literally looks like a Kiss concert.
That's
like
all
when
I
these
want.
guys
I want to
walk
go to
in.
Vegas so bad just to look at that.
It's in Florida.
I know. But I was talking about the other thing.
Oh, what other
Oh,
thing?
wait. Moving on.
They got this is a cool image I
I went with
found.
him to the bar. It's in Florida.
I'm going to go to Vegas
It's like
to see
Tiger.
it.
Like, where are you
We've
going?
just said it's in Florida like 6 times. Like, I'm going to go to Vegas to see it.
What's wrong with you?
Don't get off the rails.
All right, what do you got here, Josh?
This is a generated image that they made of the place.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't really any good pictures of what it looks like yet.
Yes.
But this is like the generalization of what it's going to look like. It's got the green with the bunkers with the crowd, and then on the other side, it's going to be the simulator of them.
All right, so here's a little bit of little inside detail for the show viewers at home. I'm heading down to do a media day inside the TGL SoFi Center. That is happening tomorrow morning. By the time this podcast airs, I will have already done that media tour of the SoFi Center. So at the time you're hearing this podcast, head over to the Dance Golf World TikTok channel, Instagram, whatever. I'm going to be posting a bunch of stuff from inside. They're letting me bring cameras in. I'm going to be interviewing some players. I think Ricky Fowler is going to be in there, a handful of guys. So I will be bringing to us, the gang, the Dan's Golf World Show crew, an inside look at what this place really looks like. And they said I could kind of go nuts and do whatever I want.
They let you play and they don't realize what they unleashed and you sit
Oh
there
my
for like
God.
8 hours.
They would have, if they're just like, yeah, you can go ahead and just hit as many balls as you want, and whenever you're done, we'll shut the lights off.
Dan still out there?
I would
4 a.m.
I don't think I would
Did-
leave.
No.
I really don't.
And then Ricky comes in. He's like, "You want to play a scramble?" And you're like, "Yes."
Yeah, I'm like, how many strokes do you need?
Yeah.
He's like,
Run a
what?
team.
That-
What are you talking
I'll
about?
be honest with you. That's usually what happens. If you're there like playing late at night and the pros there, they're probably like, "Hey man, you want to?" That will probably
Could you
happen.
imagine how fun that would be? Playing a scramble with, oh my God, that'd be like, I could do it all day, every day.
All right, somebody find us some details on it. Like I heard
What
the
does it even
screen is
stand
like
for?
multiple stories tall. The screen is, then the green is rotating. I've heard that there is some real grass being used in this. I don't know. Find us some info on that. But Gary, have you seen any of the the teams? They're sort of putting together teams. Tiger Woods is the it's I think Jupiter Golf Links is
Okay.
the name of his team. My assumption was that would just be your instant choice. You're picking Tiger's
I'm
team.
picking Tiger always.
Here we go. All right, so these are the captains. This isn't the entire team, but we've got the Atlanta Drive with Justin Thomas. We got Boston Commons with Rory. We got the Jupiter Links Tiger. We've got the Los Angeles Golf Club with Colin Morikawa. The New York Golf Club with Matt Sunscreen Fitzpatrick. And the Bay Golf Club there with Mr. Minwoo Lee, who just snuck his way into the 2025 Masters by just one position. So congrats to him for getting his way back into the Masters
I am always rooting for Fitzpatrick.
in his sunscreen.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
So the screen size.
Go on.
All it says here that it's 20 times larger than a typical simulator screen.
Okay.
So think of a simulator screen 20 times.
And think 20 times. Rich, what do you got?
So I've got the screen is going to be 60 feet wide and 40 feet tall.
Huge.
I have also got there will be a lot of grass for both for some chipping and for putting. So I don't know if they're having a putting green in there as well. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but they also have the chipping green. Also, the screen is supposed to be set back a lot farther for the more realism as far as the long drives and stuff like that.
Yeah, I heard like something like 60 feet or something like that maybe is how far between where they hit the ball to where it actually contacts the
That would be a
screen.
blast.
So there is like some ball flight. It's not just like hit the ball, hit the screen, and sort of all happens.
Do you think there's going to
invisibly.
be like ball boys like in tennis where they run across and grab them? Or is there going to be like a filtered thing where like the balls travel down? Or are they walking up and just picking them up
Dude,
themselves?
I so hope there are ball boys.
Because I want to be one.
and I so hope that you find a way to apply for that job.
I will own that job.
Dude, that would
You
be
would.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
the
could see
man.
you being like that one kid in the tennis one that falls into the mat.
Yeah, just eats it right into the
Yeah.
sign, right into the face.
He just like chuckles a little bit to himself.
Yeah.
Totally plays it off.
and then the player was like, what the hell was all
yeah,
that?
what
And they're like,
was that noise?
Yeah. They're-
I would rock it out. That'd be like a mascot.
Yeah, I think you'd do well on that.
Bring like a humor thing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, nice shot there, Justin.
You gotta wear longer shorts, Gary. When you're picking the balls up, we don't need extra
Oh my
balls
God.
as you pick up the balls.
Oh,
Just your-
jeez.
Super hairy man legs. It's just pasty
Oh my
white
God.
from like anything above the kneecap is just bright paper white.
Who let that chicken pick up the little legs? Just like
So I don't know. I am, again, because I am very open to new golf concepts, new tour concepts. I instantly go into this with some excitement.
it's gonna be awesome.
I
It's
want to
just
tune
another
in.
thing that's quick, fun, and
And it's
like,
just more
boom,
golf.
More golf.
More golf to
And it's
watch, more golf to
Tigers.
play.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I they did get off to a bumpy start. We saw it last year. It was like a month before the season was supposed to start. The entire SoFi Stadium like blew down. It was in one of those like inflatable dome things.
In Vegas.
Yeah, in Florida still the whole time and has always been. The whole thing blew down and it put the entire season back a year, which was brutal because John Rahm was just making it. He just made the announcement that he's heading to Live Golf. And PGA Tour was like, yeah, well, we have this cool new indoor league. And then that thing blew down. It's like, well, actually, no, we don't have anything new. And players are leaving. And there goes Terrell Hatton. And but I feel like with that additional year, I do feel like it seems to have gotten better. I feel like this The whole thing is bigger. The screen seems bigger, the moving greens, all this stuff. So maybe the 1 year break wasn't all bad. But I'm really excited. I'm going to be down there. Like I said, I'm going to be down there tomorrow morning walking through this place. And hopefully, I don't know.
You're going to be like right next to Tiger, like watching him swing like from, like I'm just jealous.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't know, Tiger, if you're trying to get a little more shallow in the down swing and start.
I wonder if this changes the game when it comes to simulators. Like, I wonder if once this thing launches, there's going to be, like, I'm not saying like how simulators are now, they're just all scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
But like, what if there becomes these huge simulators where you got to stand like 30 yards back?
I think that would be incredible.
And
like,
put it in a warehouse so the weather doesn't mean anything. And you have giant parties.
This kicks off a new era of giant simulator golf. Yes, it costs. It costs more. That's fine.
So
we will pay the money because we want to play on giant simulator golf.
Like, you know what you could do? I wonder if you could turn a movie theater into it.
Well, like at any time you could switch over to a broadcast. You could like show a replay of like something happened like years ago. Like they could do anything what they want with that screen. So it's going to be fun. And like during the golf, they're actually like bring somebody in like Brady. Like, how do you think they're playing? And he's like, well, I'm, in Acapulco right now. And I think they're playing great. And this is a fun little thing.
I mean, it could literally get to the point where they're not even in the same place.
No, not at all.
Whatever the LAGC is playing against Boston Commons, and they're not even in the same city.
Now, do you think that this is going to become something like that, where there's going to be like a simulator in Boston?
It'll evolve.
A simulator
into
in LA,
like,
where that's their home court, or
there'll be mini tours.
Home course? Where they're traveling now. Do you think it'll ever become that, or do you think it'll just kind of like stay?
I think it all depends on how it goes. I mean, is it well received? Does it televise well? Do people feel like they're rooting for this thing? Are they getting behind it? Do they feel the sense of competition? And, is it believable? Do you feel like these guys are playing at their best? Or, because sometimes in simulator golf, I mean, again, Gary and I, we're on simulator leagues. We play a lot of simulator golf. I tend to shoot a better score in a simulator than I do out on a golf course.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's no reason why I'm shooting 7 over after 9 holes on a simulator.
There's a million things that go into it. Like the energy, you're sitting there, you're not moving, you're not looking for balls. The lie is always the same, even though you got to do the power, math behind it, etc.
Yeah, like it's like your ball is in the rough.
Yeah,
you will be at a 68% power.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah. But then you still hit off a fresh, flat piece of mat out of a perfect lie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. To go back to your question though, I really feel like we have to see how this thing comes off, how it launches, how it's televised, and I feel like there's a lot of potential though. I mean, I feel like indoor golf, simulator golf is growing massively. There's more places opening. There's more technology coming out. The stuff is getting better. You look at like X golf where the ball's like automatically feeding itself up. I love it, total time saver. You look at like 5-iron golf where the entire platform is like moving and you're standing on cool angles. So I don't know.
We need more
I'd
golf
love to see
at
it.
night. So like this is just that. Like there's another outlet to where we're going to be able to play more, hopefully.
That's it. Golf
more
is not just a day sport.
Yeah, like if I were to go to Alaska during those 3 months, that would be insane to play golf all day like that.
All right. So speaking of one of the top golfers who's not going to be participating in this league, that's because he's a live golfer. We're talking about Bryson DeChambeau and the generational run he is on. And I'm not just talking about his golf career. I am talking about everything. Also, in honor of it, I even wore my Crushers GC hoodie here today, so everybody can just. And you won the U.S. Open. Thank you. Okay.
I think Bryson DeChambeau is your Tiger.
Yeah, 100%.
For him.
It used to be Fleetwood, but then it changed because of the interaction with Bryson, and I think that obviously made a huge bias now in Dan's.
Here's the thing. I feel like what Bryson has done, and let's kind of take a run through here of what he's done in the past year. Here we are in the end of 2024, kind of looking back of the last year. At the end of 2023, Bryson started dabbling with break 50, and by January, the series was dialed. He had on Garrett Clark, Grant Horvat, Paige Sprannick, Sergio Garcia. So now he's really figured out that's coming. That is coming. he started figuring out this YouTube thing. He found sort of his niche. He was doing a bunch of different stuff, doing equipment stuff, doing, instructional stuff. And he came up with this challenge series. And that really, to me, sort of set his YouTube channel, I don't know, on a course that would later become what happened in 2024. Then Masters rolls around. His T6 finish, finishing top 10 was great. But he had those moments where he's carrying that sign over his shoulder. He really stood out at the Masters last year more than I believe he had at any other Masters in the past. Even though he'd been playing there for years, there was just a different energy about him. And I felt like he was starting to kind of come into his own skin and starting to own this new Bryson, where he was a lot more confident with himself and saying, you know what, I don't mind having fun. I don't mind letting a goofier fun side of myself come out, because that's who I am, and take it or leave it. And it turned out people were taking it.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was, again, another moment where we saw the Bryson dial then go up another notch. Shortly after that, PGA Championship. Scotty tried to take the spotlight by getting arrested, whatever. But Bryson DeChambeau is over staying warm on the range because he is tied for first at the PGA Championship, waiting for Xander Schauffele to come down the final stretch on 18, ended up making that birdie putt, ended up taking Bryson DeChambeau by 1. But then we get that awesome moment where Bryson marches over from the range, meets Xander on 18, gives the dude the biggest hug, pats him on the chest, and he's just like, dude, great golf. You deserve this. We couldn't hear everything they said, but we understood the energy of what was being said. And it was like, dude, what a classy way to handle that. I mean, it just, he was like, man, I wanted it. I gave it everything I had. Bryson DeChambeau came out of nowhere and was just fighting and fighting and fighting in that tournament. And Xander Schauffele's time, it was his time. I mean, it was his time to take that PGA Championship win. But the way Bryson went through that whole thing, again, I felt like was another turn of the dial for this outward perception of Bryson DeChambeau. Shortly after that, we see now Bryson at the U.S. Open. And what I think was one of the most defining moments for Bryson and turned that dial up several clicks was when he was asked about the salty balls by some brilliant reporter.
I wonder who
that was in
said
that studio. Somebody just had this understanding of the moment and the time. And they asked such an important, perfect question to Bryson DeChambeau that went just beyond viral. But again, then Bryson DeChambeau taking that win at the U.S. Open.
I think that guy went to the Masters too.
You know what, that guy,
he's something special.
We'll have to do a deep dive on him. I hear he's pretty special. But then Bryson DeChambeau taking that win at the U.S. Open and everything around it. I mean, there was the tension between Rory, the putt that didn't happen, Bryson DeChambeau, the up and down of a lifetime coming out of that bunker. What he says in his profile, his least favorite shot in golf is like a 60 or 70 yard bunker shot, which was the shot he had to win the U.S. Open. He executes it like a once in a lifetime shot, makes the putt, drills it, and wins the U.S. Open. But again, the Bryson moment in it all was the way he talked to the crowd, the way that he said that we did this. This is all of ours. My goal is to let each and every one of you touch this trophy. He stayed at the golf course at Pinehurst number 2 till past midnight.
That's got to make it more fun. Like,
oh my God.
on.
Meeting fans, signing autographs, staying for every single last person, and probably getting zero sleep, getting straight on a plane, going to New York, taking this thing through Times Square. He's on the Tonight Show or Late Night Show or any one of those. He's the trophy going around everywhere there. Shortly after, he's in Nashville. He's marching around Lower Broadway, taking this thing in and out of the honky
bombs
tonks
with the blue night ball.
Oh my God, the bombs with the blue night ball.
That was my favorite, dude.
I mean, again, it was like we were watching the Bryson DeChambeau dial keep getting turned and keep getting turned. And yes, was the salty balls moment probably one of the most pivotal moments in all of it? You know, that's neither here or there. We'll look back in history and decide that. But again, the dial kept being cranked for Bryson again and again and again. And then breaking 50, or break 50 as he calls it, goes to a completely, I mean, just out of this world level when he has on former president and soon-to-be next president Donald Trump has on John Daly, Tony Romo, Bob Does Sports, Phil Mickelson. Now we went from just, internet YouTube creators to people that are famous globally. The channel has gone to another level. Again, Bryson DeChambeau cranking the dial again in what I'm calling a generational run year, not just in golf, but in a brand and in a person and in a persona and in what people thought of him 2 years ago of this kind of quirky dude who kept his head down and wore his Payne Stewart hat to this guy who is like a national treasure carrying around this trophy that he's letting everybody on the planet touch. I got to touch the trophy. I mean, I'm just saying he put it out there for people and he made it accessible and he made it real. Break 50 goes to another level. And then we have the hole-in-one challenge over the house. Right?
And then all the parodies and the skits. And
oh my God. I feel like keeping up with the Bryson DeChambeau hole-in-one over the house should have been on like Sports Center. It should have been the highlight of every news channel that existed because the entire internet, from every aspect, every walk of life of the entire scrolling world of every platform, was dialed in on Bryson DeChambeau for those 14 days or 15 days, however
like
long
16,
this challenge went.
Yeah.
17 days.
I thought it was 17. I thought it was 17.
To me, it could have went on 4 months. I wouldn't have cared if he's on, I'm on day 96 hitting my 47th ball. This
It's funny. Then the other kid from the pro shop does it in 6 days, and everybody's breaking windows and making their own funny thing about it.
When how many things have people done like this once a day until I whatever it challenge? People have done it a million times.
Oh,
Yeah.
For a million different things.
But this one was different. It was like,
it was different.
yes. Well, people were doing for example, you always used to talk about the guy with the peanut butter. He would, for every follower.
Yeah.
This one
He's
was
going to eat another tablespoon of peanut butter. That got so out of control. He had 100,000 followers. He ended up eating 3 gallons of peanut butter.
Yeah. So
It's insane.
that's how the videos were until this one where it's like, okay, I have a day. The number of days is how many times I get to attempt at this.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people love Dude Perfect. They love trick shots.
Sure.
They love seeing the progression of getting close, not even getting close, learning what goes best.
Yeah.
This was the first time this has actually kind of been like that.
Yeah,
And
it was
the first time I've seen it.
The entire planet was watching.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
In any sport when it comes to a trick shot. Yeah.
And there were other athletes from other sports that were tweeting about this and
What was
reposting.
kind of fun about it was I came in late, so it was day 12, so I didn't know. So it was a Netflix series that I was able to binge.
Oh,
there was
so
already
lucky.
episodes rocked out. So it was a lot of fun. And then I got to watch all the other ones that were really funny.
But you knew what the results were at the end of each video.
No, because I got there on day 14, so I didn't know if day 14 was the day, but I knew he had missed obviously those 14 times, but it was still fun.
I also got to see this edit where somebody put just every swing from every day just back to back to back, so it was just ball hit. I was just
that's gotta be so fun,
very satifying to
watch.
watch.
Wonder if they let us do that over the sweet spot. Onto the green.
You know what? Can they stop us?
Well, I think if they do it for the promotional, because I guarantee it would get hits.
What do you got,
I
Rich?
could put it over.
Let's be real. With Gary watching, when he came in day 14, he watched day 1 through 12 or 1 through 13, sitting on the edge of his chair. Is he going to make it on this one?
By chair or toilet? Sitting on the edge of his toilet.
He was
with one eye closed, at 3 a.m.
He was wrapped around his Tiger Woods blanket.
Okay.
Right. So it was just to let you know, it was 16 days for the challenge, and it was 134 shots is what it actually took.
Wow. 134 shots is not a lot for getting a hole-in-one, especially with taking these day-long breaks in between.
You think if you
it's not a lot, and then B, it's also, I mean, it was blind shot. He's shooting over his house.
Yeah.
So he's all right, so if I got to go left or right, if I'm moving, how, he's just got a walkie-talkie. Nah, you were left.
Yeah. He had to make it though. He could have made it earlier, but it hit the ball. They didn't move the ball.
Yeah.
So
Well, I also love people were making videos. They're like, is anybody else so locked in on this Bryson hole-in-one challenge where we actually know the parts of his roof where we can tell
100%.
if it's going to be a good
That's
shot
what I
or
was
not?
looking at instantly.
Yeah.
I was like, which part of the window is he going to go over?
That is how locked in we all are on this. Okay, let me keep going. Bryson's generational run, and here we're getting to almost the end of the year. Hole-in-one challenge happens. Right after that, he makes it. And then he announces that he has this another break 50 coming with the GOAT. Left us all sort of wondering who's it going to be. We were speculating on the show. We thought Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. Who is it? Tom Brady.
Yeah,
you know, I wasn't even
GOAT.
thinking in that category of GOATs.
Yeah, we fumbled that ball.
We did. Pun intended. Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, taking his channel to another level. And then leading up to the match that is going on. It's actually taking place tonight. By the time you hear this show, it will have already aired. So there's really no point for us to talk a bunch about the lead up to this match because the answer is going to be out there when you hear us talking about this. But leading up to it, we get this massive announcement that Bryson DeChambeau is becoming the face of Reebok.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
He is going to Reebok.
Because like who has Reebok?
No
Reebok
one.
wants into the golf space / back into the golf space. And they have no presence. There is no existence of Reebok in golf right now. And they come out with this massive marketing campaign and they say, we are putting all of our Reebok golf eggs into the basket of Bryson DeChambeau.
Which Nike did with Jordan.
That I would love to know the details of that agreement because I do not, I mean, obviously there is a paycheck, there is a payday, but I would love to know the back end, the points, the percentage. How is this thing working? How is it coming together? If they don't even exist in golf and now Bryson DeChambeau is the face of this entire golf launch, is he going to be earning a couple pennies on all these golf shoes that go out?
He's going to come up with majority of how things are created and why.
Do you know what he needs to bring back?
know.
You remember the Zig Tags?
No.
The shoes were at the bottom. It had like the squiggly
yeah,
line.
yeah.
You should bring
Like
those.
the Echoes.
Dude, what about the pumps?
I was never a pump guy. I was a Zig
No,
guy.
dude,
I'm not a pump guy.
I will be
So-
on the golf course just pumping I mean, like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Those were
dude.
like the 90s.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And instead of the basketball, it needs to be a golf ball.
No.
Reebok. I don't know if you need anybody else in the creative department. Got a desk next to Bryson.
Imagine you're on an uneven lie. Pump one up.
Pump one up. Give me some left pump. Gary, left pump.
Now you could get away.
That did not sound right.
You're just broken.
Yeah, I did. I have a flat.
I messed it up. I broke it.
I don't know. I feel like what a cap to this Bryson DeChambeau year for him to not just become a Nike golfer, not, you know, whatever kind of, but to do something that again is once again so far off the beaten path. And so for
And like,
me,
who's going to follow him, you know?
it's so in line with Bryson to now take this legacy brand, but that doesn't exist in golf. And they're going to take this sort of obscure thing with an obscure guy and go for this thing. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Did you say the whole Crushers team got it too?
I did not mention that, but that is true. It wasn't just Bryson DeChambeau, but they are also, Reebok is the sponsor of the entire Crushers team. So now this, whatever Crushers hoodie thing I'm wearing, is a collector's item because it won't exist anymore.
New ones are gonna cost a little bit more.
I'm interested to see what how they're going to act towards each other playing on Tiger's thing, going back to that, because like they're going to be right next to each other. So like it would be really fun if they were like massive shit talking and like, you know, that like.
Wait, what thing? Tiger is going to be playing next to who?
Like when they play in Florida for the thing you're going to tomorrow, like aren't they going to?
Bryson won't be at the
No, I know that. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
talking about like separately, like because they do trash talk during this a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So like, is that going to be?
Are we going to get TGL trash
yeah,
talk?
like that's what I want.
Oh, I hope.
Like, how much fun would that be? Like,
I mean, listen, Max Homa
getting
is
to
in the
really
league.
know
We better
these
hear
guys.
some
But
good.
Max Homa was really funny.
Dude,
guy.
he's so funny.
So is Schauffele.
Yeah. Well, that's the weird thing. You wouldn't know Xander Schauffele is funny unless you watch him on other YouTube channels.
Like him with Bob Does Sports was a riot.
Dude, he's
Bob Does
hilarious.
Sports is so funny.
He took Fat Perez's drone.
He was panicking. I'm like, how do you panic? You've got, whatever,
he was like,
two-time major champion
Jason
playing with your
Duffner
drone.
was like that too. He's real dry and funny and sarcastic.
He was like,
you
"Where's my
wouldn't think
drone?
it.
Where's my drone? Where's my? Oh, Schaff's got it."
Schaff. That's what I'm going to be. Hey, Schaff.
Hey, Shoffley.
How's it going, Schaff? Think I can pull it off.
So, one of the things that I really like about everything that you just talked about is how if you go back a few years before this whole 2023, since you started talking about the whole breakdown with everything he's been doing, Bryson was not a very popular guy at all.
No.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, and I kind of came in late. I didn't really realize why nobody liked Bryson. I started even asking Dan and asking other people. I'm like, why does everybody not like Bryson? Like, I don't get it, because I started seeing him during this whole change, and it's just amazing to see that you take somebody who was not liked. He was nobody liked him at all.
He wasn't internationally loved,
Exactly. But then to go and honestly self-reflect on, hey, why are other people seeing this about me? Why are other people viewing me this way? And saying, because I don't feel like I'm really like that. But then to go on this media tour, and not just media tour, just to really open up his life with all of the TikToks and all the everything he's doing, to really show that it's like, no, like he really is a good guy, and he's just a fun-loving guy that just likes golf and likes living life. You know?
And obsesses about it in a way that is so far beyond everybody else. And I feel like
exactly.
I feel like part of that was involved in this misperception of him. And again, whatever. I've really liked Bryson for a long time, but that's because I nerd out over this stuff. He plays the Jumbo Max grips. I bought those. I have those on some clubs because I was like, I don't know, Bryson's trying it. Let me see what's going on here. I went and for like a fitting session on the one length irons. I'm like, I don't know, it's working for Bryson.
I want to try that so bad.
All this data behind it. I want to go give it a try. But I feel like in and amongst that, it was, have you ever heard the statistic that free throws, like the highest free throw make percentage is like where you do the granny shot between your legs. It's like the highest make percentage is that, but nobody will do it.
Yeah.
You look like an idiot. You're not going to stand out there and heave the ball from between your legs like, some old granny. I feel like Bryson DeChambeau wasn't afraid to try those things that were what you get laughed at for. And there were a lot of years that he sort of paid the price for doing the granny shot, if you will. These things that might look weird are very unconventional, but have a scientific probability of giving him an advantage. And over time, we saw those numbers pay off.
And it sucks for him because in social media, like land, everybody wants somebody to act like their version of how they want them to act. And it's like when he would be asked a question about something, he would get so technical that people would get lost within 10 seconds. And like they would think that he was a know-it-all, but no, he's just a massive focused dork when it comes to golf. So like for him to rewire everything the way he did was perfect because he does have that still, but then he's still got the frat boy, like fun loving, like, dude's dude thing going on.
I'm really curious to see what's next. I mean, at no point could we have guessed any of the things that we sort of went through in this Bryson DeChambeau
think about
year.
Bryson when he goes to these scrambles, how excited he is, and he's ready to he acts like us. Like I can't wait for scrambles.
Let's go, partner.
Yeah, like come on, let's go. Like it means everything. So to have that mixed in with like the perfect storm of winning, and then this shift socially and being perceived as everybody's most liked guy, I think we're just gonna see years and years and years of crazy Bryson stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's good. My guess is next year we're gonna have another year of, wow, I didn't see that coming. Wow, was that huge for him?
Do you think you ever have Tiger on there?
I don't see why he wouldn't. Tiger seems like he would. I don't know. There's something about.
Do you think it's more of a Tiger thing?
Because Tiger's one of those guys that doesn't like to be in anybody's commercials.
Well,
like
he does. He did a couple things with foreplay. I think they're doing another thing with him.
Yeah, that's
he's been doing more and more like things.
That's
like that.
the weird thing is, yes, he's done the Barstool foreplay stuff, but I don't know. Does that live in this weird tangled world of live PGA? Does that?
Because everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
And what if he did it with Tiger? Oh my God, that'd be break 50 with him.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, Be so.
No, I know. Right over your head the whole time.
That would be the actual GOAT. I mean, if he says I've got the GOAT, like there's no down. That's it. I mean, come on.
But does anybody know how many times he's broke 50 or tied 50?
No, I don't know.
He's done it a handful of times. He did it with.
He's broke it or tied it.
Tied it.
And what's his like?
I don't think he's broke it yet, right?
No.
Always like, is it like what is like the max amount?
I don't know. I think he plays from the Reds, and then
because it's got to be like 5,200 maybe.
I don't know.
So they have to get. What is it? What is the normal par for a course?
Well, the yardage is like 6,200, 6,300.
Yeah, it's like 71, 72. 72 is pretty standard.
Yeah, they're
for pros. Yeah,
they're right on that cusp. There was, I think, 5 or 6 people. I know Trump, Romo. We go up here to this list. Brady, Bob Does Sports, Garrett, Grant, and Page got 50.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a slew of par 4s that are like, he's hit irons too.
All right. So on the top.
John Daly and him had a terrible round.
Oh, my God.
John Daly was in the bag.
Dude, he was all over the place. Pouring chocolate milk.
He started hitting one-handed.
Bryson
I ain't going to swing that one. You go ahead and swing.
Like this
chugging
means
milk,
everything to Bryson, and he's like, "No, you go."
So was.
When they're chugging the gallons of milk, like
Bryson makes a play. He's like, "Thank God I don't have to putt." You're like, "You should want to putt."
So, in the world of live golfers and YouTube, it is now official that Phil Mickelson is going to be finding a home on YouTube now.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys heard this announcement. I think it was like a week or two ago. But Phil Mickelson, a 6-time major champion, has announced a new YouTube series in collaboration with golf content creator Grant Horvat. Set to launch in January 2025, the series will feature Mickelson and Horvat teaming up against various opponents in a challenge format.
That's so fun.
Oh, you know what? Wait, do we have a video here?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, let it roll.
Phil, we've been going against each other this whole time, but I think we would make a great team.
You do, huh? Okay. Let's play a little game. Name your favorite golfer on the count of 3. Don't even think about it. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Rory McIlroy.
Name your least favorite golfer of all time. 1, 2, 3.
Wesley Bryan.
Jesus.
Your
Wesley's
go-to
at home just
karaoke song. 1, 2, 3. Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. Do we just become best friends?
Yep. Do you want to start a 2v2 series against other celebrities and pros?
Yep.
Same.
Dude, I think it's going to be great.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, because I feel like the Phil Mickelson, Grant Horvat challenges have been so entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the head games, the stuff that Phil does.
Dude,
Phil is
he was
so
an
next
hour
level on
early,
that.
and then he was an hour later. He's like, "What's he doing here?" He's like, "What's he doing here?" And it's just like the collaboration of the same,
I feel like it's so natural. It's such a natural fit that I am actually really looking forward to this.
You know what's crazy too is leading up to that series, him and Garrett are on a road trip. Like for content, it's a 2-week trip for content. I don't know how many days it actually is, but they're playing, I think, 9 matches at 9 different golf courses in Florida.
Jeez.
They're driving everywhere. It's a huge road trip.
That's so cool.
It's the second time they're doing it.
Could you
but they're
imagine?
not good together anymore. So
Let's think about this. Grant Horvat, wonderful young golfer. I mean, we've seen the videos where he steadily improves his handicap, drops every year, all this. Then, gets found, discovered, joins the good gang. That has an incredible run. We see this bond between Garrett and Grant and this sort of friendship. And then that, I think, due to business reasons, has to separate.
Yeah.
And Grant has to go his own way. And he's got to build something, I think, where he can really own something and make something that's long-term for himself, not just being sort of a fixture or an employee within the good organization. And, it was a little bumpy at first, took him some time, but then he really started finding his own, building a channel. And that really started growing to the point where he started growing the Grant Horvat name enough where it was like, it was okay to go back and visit the good guys. Because at this point, we are colleagues in this world. We respect each other. It's not like
there's no ill blood.
You want to come back on our show now that you're done doing your little YouTubes? Instead, it's like, no, I'll bring my channel and you bring yours, and let's have a lot of fun and do this. But then he starts getting guests on his channel. He gets guys like Phil Mickelson on his channel. So again, we're thinking of this young kid golfer, that this sort of trajectory of his career. And it was for him, he said he was never about being a competitive golfer. He didn't have the nerves for it. He didn't have the stones.
And he didn't enjoy it.
But now that same kid
has evolved the number 2 player ever in the world to do exactly what he's doing.
Right. Like he is doing buddy golf with Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, like
now.
Phil liked him so much, and he I could just see the interest he had when he asked, "Why didn't you go pro?" And then he explained it so perfectly, and it's like that makes a lot of sense.
Do you know what I've noticed about him though? Even when he was in good, I felt like he just held himself at a higher level.
Yeah.
Like, not meaning like he thinks he's the shit, but like saying like, he's probably always the best dressed. He's always the best well taken care of when it comes to like making sure everything matches.
Dude, he showers all the time. He's got to. You know what I mean?
I feel like he didn't party. Like, I think he was just more focused.
He was all business.
Yeah.
Well, I am excited for this series. I think it has strong potential of being really good. And I think it's such a wild, interesting pairing of characters. I don't know. It's got all the makings to be something fun. Okay. All right, guys. Before we get out of here and wrap things up for the day, I found something.
Nice.
I was at Meijer and I found the newest box of the Upper Deck golf cards. Nice. I keep wanting to call them baseball cards.
They pretty much are baseball cards.
Baseball cards with golfers on them.
You know what they're called? Sports cards.
Sports cards? That sounds stupid.
No, that's literally what it is.
Rich, are you calling them sports cards?
The baseball cards.
Or
I don't know. I think they're all baseball cards and what sport's on it.
All right, so we're playing a game. All right, Josh, you get a pack. Yeah, Rich, if you were here, I would give you a pack. Gary, you get a pack. I get a pack. Here's what we're doing. We are all opening a pack, and whoever has like the best golfer in their pack wins today.
Hey, I'm just saying this one feels thick.
I got a picture of me.
This thing feels thick.
You got like a... Dude, okay, for real? If they're all garbage cards, you guys can keep them. But if you get like an autographed Tiger Woods, these are mine. Back off.
Good luck.
I've got security just outside the studio that will take you guys down.
Oh, I got Victor Holland. Sweet.
Mine.
Cool.
All right, hold on. All right, one at a time. One at a time. Slow down, Gary. Slow down. Jesus. All right. Josh, what do you got? Give me one.
Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim. Wasn't he on the President's Cup?
I think so.
I think so.
I think I just found a new thing that I love.
Golf cards?
Don't look at
golf sports cards?
Don't look at the things you gave me.
All right, here we go. Cole Hammer. Not super exciting. All right, keep going, guys.
All right, I got a Thorbjorn Olesen.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
All right, Gary. You've gone through your whole deck and you're just picking the best ones, but go ahead.
I'm going, okay.
What do you got?
Freddie Couples.
Oh, dude, Gary got a good pack. Charlie Hoffman. You know, whatever.
Adam Hadwin.
Ooh, he got tackled at the Canadian Open.
One for Rich.
I don't know, Rich. You just get to sit out.
He got tackled?
Yeah. He was going. Wait. I forgot which one got tackled or which one won. One of them won the Canadian Open, and then the friend, I think it was Adam Hadwin, goes running out to give him a hug. They've been on tours together forever. He goes out to give his friend a hug, and security comes from out of frame, and like feet leave the ground and takes him out and tackles him. He had a bottle of champagne and everything. He was doing the champagne, gonna hug his friend, and security levels him.
How much are you laughing if that happened to me?
Oh my God, dude, Gary, I would pay money for that to happen to you. But the best part
we can just make that happen next time we're on course.
Check this
The
out.
following week was the U.S. Open out in Los Angeles, and in his locker, in Adam Hadwin's locker, was a hard hat in like a yellow vest, and they're like for your protection and safety. Brought to you by the U.S. Open.
Do you guys have insert cards?
I don't even know what an insert card means.
So I have this Upper Deck Canvas Jason Duffner. So it's an insert. So
what does insert mean?
It means it's just like an extra card in the set. They're worth more.
All right.
But usually like common ones aren't. So like if you look at the back of the cards, you have a number on there in the back right corner. It's got like, for example, I got one that says 90.
Yeah.
This one says C12. Whenever it's got like a letter and then a number, it's an insert. So this is
mine.
C for
I got
canvas.
a DZ20 and a UD8.
All right. I'm going to keep going through here. I'm going to burn through a few of these. Let's see.
Mine beats yours.
Lee Hodges or Hodges. I don't even know. Adam Long. Oh, dude. Gary Player.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Here we go. Alex Fitzpatrick. Matt,
oh, nice.
But in the picture,
I literally just watched that again last night.
Is him and Matt Fitzpatrick together in the card together.
Hey, you guys know Nancy Lopez?
Uh-huh. Are you joking?
No.
Really? Wow. Okay. She's just like one of the best women golfers ever.
Well, I got her card.
Well,
nice.
That's a pretty good woman one. I got Kuchar. I got Hovland. I got Birdhound Langer. Yeah.
D.A. Points. I've never heard of somebody named D.A. Points.
Really?
Oh, dude, Sam Bennett.
Oh, that's nice.
Could be worth hanging on to.
I like my
Young
Freddie.
guy.
Freddie and Victor are cool.
What was the name of your canvas card guy? Who was that?
Jason Duffner. It's
Michael
probably not. I'll
Thompson.
be honest with you. It's probably not worth anything.
Yannick Paul.
I'm looking it up though.
All right, Rich,
On
let me
eBay.
know if I need to go dive across his desk and steal it out of Josh's hands. Put it straight on eBay.
I'm taking my Freddie and giving him my father.
All right. Gary is talking about stealing my cards. Did you guys hear that?
I thought these were given.
It's been documented.
No, it was a game.
A game of gifts.
Hey, Josh,
I like receiving
Josh,
gifts.
do me a favor and make sure Gary's headphones are on. I don't think he's heard a word I said today.
I think they're up. I think actually you control it on that side then.
Thank you, Josh, for pointing out that point. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Whatever. I don't know. I don't think any of us got rich today on these cards, but I don't know. That's it. I got to get
I do
the
have
Florida.
a price for you.
Oh,
Well, how much
go ahead.
is
Give it
it?
to us before we go.
All right. So this is the 2024 UD Golf C12
Let's
Jason
go.
Duffner.
Come on.
UD Canvas PGA card.
Come on, baby.
You can currently get it from eBay. So if you wanted
Yes.
multiples, you would be able to get them.
I might.
And it would cost you, let's see, it doesn't say how much shipping is, but without shipping, it's $1.09.
There we go.
$1.09.
There we go.
We got a card for $1.09. All right, folks. well,
$1.09.
Hey, I gotta go because I'm running this card to the bank, putting my safety deposit box. I don't know. I have no clue. Thanks for joining us, guys. That's it for this week on the Dance Golf World Show.